welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Igama lam BABALWA wakwanjwana. And today we've got the one, the only Mr. Mtatiso himself. Welcome back to our channel, guys.
What's up?
Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we are celebrating Heritage Day. We have got some delicious food in front of ourselves. Proudly sponsored by Kwantu Eats, guys.
Thank you, Kwantu Eats. Shout out to Kakhulu.
It's like our favorite.
It's our favorite
got
stuff.
Umleqwa, which is his favorite. I've got Trotters, which is my favorite, and Ulusu, guys.
Which is both our favorite.
Yo, super amped. We've got some steamed bread over here. We've got some chakalaka, and we've got some cabbage. So we are going to feast. Yes, it's a traditional food mukbang.
So I think like our menu actually is quite fitting for the topic that we are going to have in Amhlanje. Because today we're just talking all things in general about the challenges that face young people when they start working. The financial obligations that one accrues the moment that you start earning a salary. There are certain expectations that come from when you have this duty or this obligation to fulfill. I'm a Bazali and to take your younger siblings through school, etc. etc. So we're just talking generally from our experiences about those challenges, the expectations from parents, etc. So
go ahead and dish.
Yeah, so basically that's a topic, man, and I'm sure it's going to be a relatable topic to a lot of people because abantu abangathi are actually going through into ezinjalo, you know. So I mean, I'm going to kick it off by just speaking about myself. Yeah, man. Because I'm like the first generation matriculant, varsity student, first person to have a profession, a family. So obviously, those blessings come with a lot of obligations. You know, as Kanye West is in one of his songs, to whom much is given, much is tested.
That's in the Bible.
Yeah, but I'm quoting Kanye West now, not the Bible.
I'm just letting you know in case you didn't know.
I actually didn't know it was me in the Bible.
In the Bible.
So, I always struggle with the terminology of black text. The fact that our obligations have been given a negative connotation by society.
How is it a negative connotation?
Why is it called text? Why is it called black text? Not because now it carries it a negative connotation, also the black text.
But it is negative.
How is it negative? Because
like it is negative because first of all, parents of a black child, ne? That weren't afforded the opportunities to go like build a career because obviously of what happened in our country back then. They don't have financial means and the foundation to lay for abantwana babo. So I would say that it is a negative thing.
But don't you think that obviously it's inherent about, or it's inevitable about, we can never come from the same backgrounds. And because of the different backgrounds that we come from, we don't have the same privileges and we don't have the same obligations. For example, if we're not going you have certain obligations that other privileged kids don't have. It's just an obligation based on the position that you are born in. It is a positive thing because you are the person in your family who's blessed enough to be given an opportunity to build.
It was not meant to be that way in the first place.
Yeah, but it is that way. It was not meant to be that way, but it is that way. Why must we call it black tax? Why is it tax? I mean, I'm just saying, wow. If we're not going to so good, right? And go when you're going to do sacrifices so that way now you can go to university, you can have a career, another job, and you can earn an income. You therefore have an obligation. Unfortunately, it's just an unfortunate position that you are in as an individual based on your circumstances. Circumstances that are fine. But who don't have to go through those challenges because when Abazal Babu made those sacrifices for them before they were born, right? And unfortunately, were either not in a position to make those sacrifices or didn't make those sacrifices. Now it's like for you to make the sacrifices to break the chain in your family. Why must that be given a negative connotation as if it's not an obligation that you should have as a person?
Baba, I don't think I think you're misunderstanding this. If the name black tax, I think it primarily comes from the fact that parents, abazali babantu abaninzi apha South Africa, previously they were disadvantaged, right? And according to indlela yobomi, abazali imele bangabo abashiyela abantwana i-inheritance.
True.
And but because things happened the way that they did in our country, and people are they find themselves in positions where they are slowed down by the system that was created by the former government. Whereas it is not a positive thing because things initially were not supposed to be like that in the first place. Like at no point should a child be taking care of their parent. It should be like the world wasn't created to be that way. It's the parents that are supposed to give a blessing to umntana nesizukulwana sakhe, for ibe inheritance, for ba umntana continues to hand over the baton to the next generation. So because things happen the way that they did, and it's not a positive thing. Like we can't say that it's a positive thing. Like we should admit and be honest with ourselves to say that black tax does slow majority of black children down. They aren't able to buy houses for themselves. Like it shouldn't be a child's burden for that's not how the society was created in the first place. So let's not move away from the fact that like it's a negative thing. Let's not try to brighten it up and say it's a great or an amazing thing, because initially that's not how things were supposed to be. Ubomi ekumele sibuphilayo thina ubomi abuphilwa ngabelungu aba bakwazi ushiyela abantwana babo izindlu, bakwazi lentoza uvula trust for abantwana babo. That is the life that we are supposed to have. Like otamkhulu wethu kumele bane farm bashiyele farm so that we are able to take care of our children and the next generation. So I really don't want us to make it seem like it's something that should be glorified, the fact that a black child needs to suffer first before they can succeed.
I think they've made an hour. What you are saying, when you are talking about the history and the impact of black tax, but it's negative in the sense of we shouldn't be in a situation or a position that we have to take care of people who are supposed to take care of us before we can actually earn the right to happiness and to enjoy our income. I understand it. I agree with you completely. We shouldn't be in that situation. But what I'm saying, what I was trying to say is the following. We shouldn't. It's just unfortunate, right, that some of us have to find ourselves in that position. And if we are in that position, we shouldn't make our parents or siblings feel like SARS. Like, oh, mama and dex, a kind of vibe. You understand? Because it just happens for you, unfortunately, to form part of your responsibilities that other people don't have. And sometimes we meet different people who have a completely different background as us. And then, let's say, for example, you work with these people in the same corporate space. You earn exactly the same amount of money, but your lifestyle is not even close to their level. And they always wonder about how funding. Right? And then when you try to explain to them, but guys, I have to, this is why they're so shocked. They're like, dude, you shouldn't be doing that, that's wrong. And you should be enjoying your own money, it's not your responsibility. You earn this, and they're speaking from an uninformed point of view because they've never been in your position or in a position where they have to take care of anyone. It's always been about them, it's always about their parents supporting them. And for them, the notion or the idea of you supporting your parents, blah, 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 blah. And they try to convince you that that is negative, that it shouldn't be your obligation. Do you understand? And you have a lot of people who, once they earn, they don't look back, they don't assist, they buy cars, they leave, they buy apartments and they forget about home completely because they meet people who make them forget. So that's why I'm saying, but it's just unfortunate that Instagram shows us sizalelwe position as finite. And because sizalelwe position as funny, your obligations will never be the same. Right? When I 10k yako, 10k we have to split it by 5. And now to go home and make people feel like they are a burden in your life, like they are SARS, they're taxing you. It's a point of view that I'm coming from. My mom shouldn't ever feel like I'm like SARS to Mdan, I'm taxing him and I'm pulling him back when she has made so many sacrifices for me to be in that position. Because when I'm to attend fruit is the but so pens, but right? So that's being a market. So the only great time all of a sudden you making your mother feel like your mother is taxing you. Whereas your mother just happens to fall part of your obligations because of your situation at home. And that's the position that I'm coming from. And then it brings me then to the question, do you think that like we have an obligation in those situations to take care of home first before we take care of ourselves? And I mean, how do we draw the line? Because sometimes people can take advantage of that.
People will always take advantage of you when you are in a better position financially. And it's very important that you need to take care of your family. Family yakho ayikwazi ulala imadlanga ube usitya wena uhleli comfortably indlu yakho ekwi-suburbs. That is wrong. So I would say is that you need to take care of your family yakho. Make sure that they have food, they've got a roof over their head, they've got electricity and X, Y, and Z, like basics. Then there comes to a point where you need to draw the line, because if you do not draw a line, it's very easy for people that do not have or aren't at an equal financial level to take advantage of you. Because you always think that now
and you will
never understand. Like you always think that like means like I used to think of that about my parents when I was growing up.
Because
they
everything
used
you
to
ask
say
for.
no to certain things.
Like, what?
Like you know. So to them they can't fathom that you do not have enough to buy the luxuries. So that's when you need to draw the line. And you don't have to feel guilty about that. You need to tell yourself that these people have food to eat, these people have electricity, they've got water, they've got a home. And I've played my role in making sure that abalali bengatyanga, which is like the basics of you taking care of your family. Anything other than that, you are also a human being. I feel like you shouldn't put yourself in awkward situations where you're always a yes machine, and then you end up now tight corner financially. Now suddenly, uthi no, man usithi no, then abantu banga understand. Suddenly, ba kutheni uzawuthi no ngokukodwa wawukade usithi you know. So it's always very important to draw the line and be strict about your finances. At the end of the day, subdlala big. I'm always like a person of don't play big. Like people need to understand that you've got financial obligations. Just because you happen to be the one that is in a better financial position doesn't mean that imali yakho ayizophela. Like
you owe them. Like some people,
and don't create an expectation of that unemali. One thing I've realized about abantu that have made it in their families, they always create the perception that ndinayo imali. That's why they find themselves in those positions whereby people are always asking them for stuff, because people will know that uwe onemali. Like now ufuna like ulapawa bandini, you know. So like you need to be very, very smart about how you handle relationships zakho, family yakho, nabantu, and money. Like it is very tricky because mali yakabanisa, especially when it comes to family, because they feel like they own you, you know. Like they feel like they've got such a hold over you, and also awunayo into iskebe ngathi
you know, for your own money. I agree. I think your role there is to assist, not to be the primary supporter. You can never be the primary supporter of an adult. And there's they can't work for themselves, but also now, they probably have something from the government, and your role is to support them when they need something. But don't ever do something just because you're starting to make a little money and become the primary supporter of people at home. Especially abantu abangenzindo. Bakhona abantu just chilling and they're expecting to just give the money at the end of the month and buy them clothes for this and that. Bakhona abantu that you can actually be the primary supporter of these people if they are working towards something, like your younger sibling. If you're good eskolweni, I mean, you know, it's a temporary support measure. This person has a plan. We are more you're gonna get to a point where this person will be able to take care of themselves. But who are just chilling, like Wednesday needs, and all you want is telemine. Yeah, so be primary supporter, like be a secondary supporter to people, and offer your helping hand whenever you can. Because what I've realized is that most of the we talk about like you are too much. You are actually going to end up hating these people that you are taking care of, because you're going to wake up one day and realize because inside you are hurting because you are unable to fulfill amaphupho akho, because you have to take care of abanye abantu who are not actually doing anything to help themselves. And I think this is a problem that abantu abaninzi are facing, abamnyama. They get stuck in the same cycle, and that's why you will never break the generational curse, because you're going to be in the same situation over and over again. Now, and then you become the primary supporter of 10 people, they want to drag you back. And being in the same position, in the same cycle. I'm a big advocate for we need to support a kaya, we need to rebuild a kaya, but one needs to exercise the discretion. Are too much and we are paid, and communicate. Tell people, tell your parents, tell your siblings that they shouldn't have certain expectations of you, because you've got dreams too, and it's not an easy thing to communicate. Bakhona abantu who are not going to accept it well, but the problem is because they should never feel entitled to your labor, the fruit of your labor. People shouldn't.
So entitled to the fruits of your labor. Like
yeah.
Like biggest sin. It's very important for you to draw them.
It's just like I've realized, but sometimes no situation where like we breadwinner, right? Sometimes it's okay to take care of yourself first. This is where like you get criticized a lot by people. But sometimes it's okay and it's important to take care of yourself first, because so that you have enough to give. Because like it's your first like 4 months and already so you haven't even really taken care of yourself. You're not stable yourself. So sometimes you need to take time for yourself and build yourself, so that we position now. Like even if after a couple of years, you say now I'm in a position to, you know what, I can build Uturu, Ekaya. I can do this. Then you are able to make a meaningful contribution. And during that process, because people don't see the vision that you see, you get a lot of criticism from your own family, from your neighbors, from people who know you. Hey, down, simbona TV, simbona ko Facebook, simbona ko ntoni. Kodwa kokwabo kunje, kodwa kokwabo kuthe, kodwa kokwabo kuthe. They don't see your vision, but as long as when uyazi ba what it is that you are trying to achieve for your family yako, and what's your plan, and you know that maybe after 4 years you're saving money so that you can go back home and make a meaningful contribution. So there was a post that I posted earlier that I came across on Facebook. It's actually it was a speech by Denzel Washington, when he says that when you're on the journey of breaking generational curses, even your own family will talk bad about you. Even your own family will criticize you. Even your own family will say because they don't see the vision, and that is why you are in the position you are in and they're not, because you've got a vision to change their situation, and I guess also it's about, like, as black people, we have a bad relationship with money, because the moment we have money, we think spend, because we've never had enough money to save. So I found myself in that situation, like I've got this much money. It was a lot of money for me. I just came out of varsity. I've never had money before, and now I've got this money, and all I wanted to do every time I just want to buy this and that and that and that. And it actually took me some time to understand, but my relationship with money needs to change, and my relationship with my siblings and my friends need to change. I need to be the same guy who I've always been. I need to contribute whenever I can, and I need to learn to say no. Because if I don't, so class is stuck in the same place, and you'll never break those generational curses. You'll never build that house for win. If you think across that, you think umbani, you think the school, or the school fees, where is the money going to come from for you to actually make a meaningful contribution that is going to change something or win, And that's when I realized I need to stop, and I need to take care of myself first, build myself first, because I can never give from an empty cup. I needed to fill mine first.
Yeah, that's true.
Before I could give back.
Very, very true.
Yeah. Damn, guys.
Like everything, yeah.
Yeah. So, Baba, do you have any experiences, or is there any inflicted pressure for yourself that you've put on yourself to be able to do something for abazalbako and stuff like that? And how are you managing that?
Not really. Yeah, okay.
Virgin active.
But besides that, I've never been in a situation where I've been privileged to have my parents lay a foundation, like a solid foundation before me, for myself and my sisters. Yeah. So that whatever it is that we do is, like my dad will always say, you need to be able to take care of yourself when I'm no longer. Like that was always his words, like when he was raising us up, that you guys must be able to stand on your 2 feet. So I will work hard and spend my last cent taking you to good schools, so that nina nishiyekane right nabantwana benu. So I'm honestly so grateful to God that I was
privileged
enough to be in that position and to have a foundation that I can start off from.
Start from something.
Yeah, start from something, like ndikwazi uzithengela imoto, ndikwazi uzihlalela like isalary yam. Yabo ndithenge apho napha ke xa kunideka kwenzeke something at home, like yazi abazali bayathanda ufeketha. You know, like they will always be like, yo, into ethile ayinhle ndiyayithanda, and then you know that
like it's a hint
like
wow.
that you need to bring something, you know. And obviously because they've worked hard to put us where we are, like you have to give them something just to show appreciation as well. Like our parents sacrificed a lot for us to be where we are, you know. Like we don't know the troubles and the sacrifices that they had to make for us to be where we are. So akufuneka sihleke kube mnandi sibalibale
umama uyandistress uyadika
ukholo mama, because one day guys there will be no more and uzawuzisola ba yo mama ngenda ndimthelela mbele yezihlaku wayifuna, you know. So yeah, so it's important for you as a person ungayenzi lanto yo ndiyaphangela ngoku ndinemali okanye uflashe izinto, yo iPhone yam entsha, yo imoto yam entsha, yo ndiya restaurant ngoku siyotya. Don't do stuff like that. You are going to invite enemies. Zikuxake babes. So it's important that you exercise EQ yakho. Like ube wise, because uzixakekisa nyani. So yeah,
I think like exactly what you say. My parents have never like created that obligation or made me feel like I have to contribute, I have to take care of them. It just came from me. And I just didn't understand the consequences of that action. Because once you start and people start seeing, oh, okay, so you become, they start relying on you. They start relying on you now. Because my parents are always like, yo, like, if my mother needs something, she will call me. It's like, I need this, then I'll make this happen if I can. Right? Same with my father. They've never like, okay, now we have to get us this every month. It's just something that I did for myself. Now you have money. It's also because I was not educated on money. That you actually need to use a certain percentage of your money and keep a certain percentage. You know, it was all like, yo, okay.
Yeah,
I've got 10,000 now. It needs to go. I need to buy. Someone doesn't have shoes. Someone doesn't have this. It needs to go. So I was like, you know what? Now, after a while, I realized that this is actually hurting me. And it was actually something that I did myself. But yeah, I put a stop to it now. I know how to say no.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
He's not there yet. He is getting
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. To say no, which is something that I struggle with. Putting my foot down, you know, I always feel
you feel guilty.
Yeah.
You get and feel guilty.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to say
draw the line.
No. You're not a bad person by saying no.
No, true.
Like if you
the ability to say no is a strength. It's a strength that everybody needs. Time. Yeah.
Yo, guys, I've learned to
now you've learned. Yeah. Thank you so much to Kwandu Eats for sponsoring us with this video.
Ooh, guys.
This meal.
Our favorites, literally.
Yeah. Like the fruity part. As soon as you switch off this camera, like I'm gonna eat like the real meal. Like. Yeah, but I can't show you guys that. Wow. So I have to respect you guys. Try kitchen etiquette. Yeah, table manners, whatever. So thank you guys. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Let us know. We'd like to hear your views on this topic. Let us know in the comment section. Let us interact. Let us know how you feel. We hope that you enjoyed your Heritage Day. Still Heritage Month. Enjoy it. Celebrate yourself.
Please, guys.
Thank you so much. From us to you, until next time.